Okay, this is the start of the Sweetwater Trail here in Munson, Florida. Here's their board here. Tells you all about the trail, tells you how many miles you walked. No bikes. But the trailhead I'm going to be walking is the Sweetwater Trail. It's 1.3 miles in the Blackwater River State Forest. So here we go. It's about 88 degrees here this morning, but it is a lot cooler in here with all the trees and all the shade, as you can see. Yesterday when I was walking, I noticed there was deer tracks and some turkey tracks and some coon tracks that's in the concrete. So that's pretty neat to see. So when you walk the trail, look for the deer tracks. And I don't know if you can see them, but there they are, deer tracks. So I'm walking up to the grist mill. This is the Sweetwater Trail. Maybe you can see inside. I'll give you a little look inside, a little tour inside. Every October, the second weekend in October, they have the Munson Heritage Festival here, and they will actually run this grist mill and make some meal out of corn. And the water here is overflowing out of Krul Lake, but that's the grist mill. Okay, I'm gonna continue on. There's some more deer tracks. Maybe you can see those. My goal of walking is to get in shape for my next hunting adventure, the end of October, first 2 weeks of November. Going back up north to hunt the whitetail, and where we're going, it's not flat at all, so I've got to be in some sort of shape. So that's why I'm starting early, and this has been a good place for me to come walk and to get in shape. So this is the swinging bridge. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all?
Good.
Back in the day, this thing would really swing, but they've got it more supported than they did back then. But this is Sweetwater Creek. The water looks a lot better than it did yesterday. Pretty. And this is the other side. And of course, do not jump or dive from the bridge. And we're moving right along. The Sweetwater Trail goes all the way from Krul Lake to Bear Lake, and it said it was 1.4 miles, I believe. So I'm gonna try to walk the whole way today. Do got my hiking boots on today. Thundering a little bit in the background, so I'm gonna have to watch out, look at my radar. But there is places on this trail that you can detour and go down to the creek here. They put nice railings up so kids and people can't fall off when they're walking. There is no bikes allowed on this trail, so if you bring your bike, just know that you're not supposed to ride it on this trail. I put on sunscreen. I didn't really need it because it's so shady in here. Here's a bench, so when you get tired or you just want to sit down out here and take a break or just sit in the nature, you can and enjoy it. Enjoy the silence. Over here is, you can see the creek through those trees. You can step down here and go to a trail that leads to the creek, but I'm going to continue to walk the trail here. Just remember, if you come to Krul Lake, bring your kids. Don't forget about the Sweetwater Trail, and it's be a good way to get exercise and let your kids play on this and walk and see nature, and you won't really have to worry about a snake because you can see them if they're laid up here on this platform. Oh, there's a lizard. I wish I'd have set my timer and I could tell you how far that the wood trail goes, and then let you know how much of the dirt trail you would have to finish walking to Bear Lake, but I didn't think nothing about it. Here is another place where you can sit. So there's a couple of them on the trail, a couple of benches to sit in. And it turns here. And this is the old part. It's still in good shape. Also here at Krul Lake, there's a campground to stay in. There is a lake to swim in. They do have lifeguards at that lake, so you can come swim and enjoy the day, and you can take a walk on the Sweetwater Trail. I believe you have to go on Reserve America website and pay for a day use pass if you want to come and use the trail. And you also have to do Reserve America to rent campsites at the campground. But anyway, this is where the wood trail ends, and I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna look at my radar, and there says hiking trail, foot traffic only, Krul recreation area. No pets allowed, no bikes. And they've got it, and it goes on to, from there it goes on to Bear Lake here. So it gets a little bit more rugged. So actually, if you just walk to there, that would be a good walk. But I'm gonna go as far as I can go till I feel like I need to turn around. But I just wanted to show you what the Sweetwater Trail in Munson, Florida has to offer. And I'm gonna use it quite regularly in the next couple of months, trying to get in shape when it's hot in the morning, and then the evenings I'll try to walk somewhere else. But anyway, it's a beautiful spot. I know there's a bunch of deer in here, but this is a closed area, so there's no need to even look for deer tracks in here. But there's a lot of tracks in here. It's real pretty. But if you get a chance this fall, come out to the Heritage Festival here in Munson, Florida. They have it the second weekend in October. They have a lot of vendors, a lot of food, and a lot of displays of the times in the past. It's like going back in time almost. So here's some steps, so you got to step down here. So it's almost like going back in time. And they got the trail rail marked if you was out here walking at night, but it's like going back in time. So it's a good good time be had. They also have an archery shoot there that the Outdoor Operation Freedom crew put on for the wounded veterans to take them hunting. So any money they make off that goes to help with the lodging, feeding the veterans that come to hunt. So that's always a good time. I think they do about 20 targets, and you get in a group and you shoot, and they have a male division, women's and youth, and traditional, so that makes it fun for people. And they usually give money or gift cards to whoever wins, so it's a nice time. It's usually $25 to shoot, but it's a good way to get ready for hunting season if you like to hunt. But if you're not a hunter, you can come watch, or you can just come and enjoy the festival. I look forward to it every year. But should be getting close. I hope my footage is better today. I'm using my GoPro and not my phone, so I hope the footage is a lot better of the walk to show you how it is. In Florida, we have these gallberries. I don't know if you can see them, these gallberries. And our deer forage here on those. And if you're in that tree, up in one of those trees, you almost have to climb way high to see them deer walking in those gallberries if you're thick. But they do eat them. And you'll look down and there'll be a deer walking to you at 15, 20 yards, and you ain't even seen him. So really this isn't bad. I didn't walk it yesterday because I didn't have my hiking boots, but I probably could have walked it in my shoes I had on, but it's so much better with these hiking boots. Back when I was a kid at Munson, when Munson was open, they closed it now. We come on a field trip here. I think it was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade, and we walked the Sweetwater Trail here as a group, and it was fun. That was my first time ever walking it. Another bench you can rest on. So and then they sent us to another school and shut down our school. And it's remained closed ever since. But this trail will end up at Bear Lake. They have actual trails around the Bear Lake that you can walk. I think they have one or two, I can't remember, that you can actually walk to. And it's a place to fish. I think it's the same thing, you have to do Reserve America to use it. But has some good fish in it, bass, brim, catfish, and it does have some crappie. Caught a few crappie out of it, but I don't know if they're still in there. I haven't heard people say. But I hope to make it all the way out so I can pan around and show you the lake at Bear Lake. And then when I get back to Krul Lake, I'll show you where you can swim back there. I usually come down here camping once a year. I haven't done it this year, but it's a good place to come camp at either place, Bear Lake or Munson Pool. I call it Munson Pool because that's all I've known it as, but the official name is Krul Lake. So if you hear me talking about the pool, that's what I've always known it as, but it is Krul Lake, the official name. Pretty swamp out there. So that means I gotta be getting closer to the lake. But this is Sunday morning. There's not a whole lot of people out here this morning walking. There was a few people at the Krul Lake swimming, so it's been a pretty weekend. It's not been that hot, not been too bad. Happy Father's Day, everybody, to all the fathers out there. My husband's working today, but I forgot to tell you that this trail, I did tell it at the beginning, is in the middle of Blackwater River State Management Area. They do allow hunting in this management area. So, and there's a lot to do if you're not a hunter. Like you can come walk the trails, you can come swim, you can come fish. They do bike rides up here. There's all kinds of sorts of things on the forest. And Blackwater does a real good job keeping our forest manicured and up. The swamp out there. I'm gonna have to tighten up. And I've counted, I think, 4 or 5 benches to sit on this walk. So that's nice. If you get tired, you can sit down and take a break. can tell where there's been people walking. There's a lot of footprints. So that's good to see people out using it. So if you can't walk the trail, at least I've made this video and you can see how it is and see what it looks like. And if you come to Florida one day, just if you want to come to Munson and walk the trail, you know what it looks like now. And we've about made it to our destination. So, Sweetwater Trail ends here at Dam, entering Bear Lake Loop Trail. So, I'm going to walk on up and show you the lake since I made it this far. And then I'm going to turn around and head back. That thundering's getting a little bit too close. But they do have the trail cut, so the grass cut, so that's nice. Campers here. And if you want to continue the Bear Lake Trail, you continue that way. I'll do that for another day since it is thundering. But there's campers over there. They have camping here at Bear Lake. But this is the lake in Munson, Bear Lake. I had my family portraits taken here a couple years ago, and they were real pretty. We took one right here at this exact spot. But anyway, this is the lake. Few people over there, few campers still, but most people are checking out. But need a top water plug to throw in those lily pads. But this concludes my trip on the trail today. This morning, I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe to my channel. And always, you can follow me on Facebook. Me and my family at Boat Up Down South with TNT. And stay tuned for the next adventures with Hunting with Tamika. As always, happy hunting and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Have a nice weekend.